Hello. Wait, am I recording? Oh, yeah. Yep. Hey, Visionaries. What is going on with this trend? Second video of the day. Bear with me, okay? Hey, Visionaries. It's A back on your screen with another one. I hope you're all well. And as you can tell from the title, we're going to be talking about something a little different today. This is the third installment to my series. I started this off with talking about losing loved ones last year, 2024. I lost quite a few family members, as well as had a lot of tribulations that have really edified my relationship with God. I followed it up with another video about how losing vision also helped me find God. And today we're going to be talking about dabbling in the dating. These streets are mean. Let's get into it. But before we do, as per usual, I have for you two anchor verses. The first being 1 Thessalonians 5:11, and second, Ecclesiastes 7:8-9. Sorry, I have to go off the top. I don't have script, can't see well, you know the drift. Everyone by now knows I'm legally blind, so let's just get into it. It dawned on me a couple days ago that some of the hardest lessons I've learned in life have been through heartbreak. And for someone who's a late bloomer, that is saying a lot. I wasn't allowed to be outside. Like, my mom's Caribbean, so there was no outside. Quite literally. I went to school, I came home. On the weekends, I'd go swimming or skating, lessons, whatever. Yeah, that was it. So dating where, what, who? No. I didn't start dating until university, and even though I got in the game pretty late, I caught up to the game real quick, because the way these men be playing in these streets, if you know, you know, but I hope you've never experienced it. I'm still young, but I don't really have experience. I think that says a lot, that I haven't even really been out there, and still the experience that I've had made me realize that the dating pool cesspool is not to be played with. When it comes to dealing with guys especially, I'm not one of those people who's jaded and thinks every guy's a mess, or you meet one, you meet them all. Anytime you feel tested, tried, or triggered, he's probably trying to tell you something. And that's why he's gifted us with this really amazing little thing called an intuition. I will not admit how many times I've made the mistake, okay, maybe once or twice, I've made this mistake of not using that internal compass that he's given us. And every single time, afterwards, I'm sure Jesus was sick from hearing me. I would just be praying, trying to get through heartbreak, trying to find myself. That's the one thing I will say about heartbreak that's unlike anything else I've experienced. It's not just the heartbreak, it's the questioning yourself, especially if you get a real good one, the ones that have you wondering, why did you let it get this far with that person? There's a word that I used to always say for one of the guys that I dated back in the day. What was it? I swear I used the Men in Black tool to wipe it from my memory. That's how traumatic it was. Hold on, let it come back to me. Potential. Listen, ladies, in your teens, in your 20s, forget about it. Enjoy yourself. Dating's supposed to be fun. Don't take them too seriously. Don't get in too deep. Maybe check back in a couple years and see if they've actually got the ambition to live out their potential. But picking a man based off potential is a quick way to get played. I used to think I had it together in my teens and 20s. Oh, how little did I know. I'm so happy to be in my 30s, honestly. It is treacherous in your 20s. When I first started dating, as a Christian in this world, to be modest and have values was actually seen as a bad thing. If you know, you know, especially millennials. There was that phase where everyone was talking about their body count and this and that, and I'm just like, listen, I'm not here to judge. I'm not one of those Christians that holds my nose in the sky. I'm not holier than thou. I have made a mistake or two or three along the way. But what we're not going to do is I will never tell you something that I wouldn't do myself. And I've never had a whole phase. I have gone through periods of celibacy, and it's helped me. I'm not telling you what you should do or shouldn't do, but I find it funny that pop culture and even social media puts out and projects these different ideals depending on the era that we're in. I feel like that whole phase thing is kind of dwindling down, or at least it's not as present to me but maybe it's also because I'm older and I'm not really in those circles of conversation. So if you're in your mid-20s or younger, let me know if it's still like that. There was a lot of pressure, especially when I was in university, but even in high school, some of the girls felt pressure to do and give more and be more than, I don't know, it's crazy. Again, I'm not here to judge. We've all lived life and we can learn from others' lived experiences. I think the most important thing I want to drive home when it comes to this subject is the importance of understanding how much picking someone plays a part in the path you take in your life. If I look back at the 3 times that I chose the wrong person, it's a direct mirror of where I was at in my life. And to make matters worse, I'm the type of person, let me know if you're like me too, where when something happens, the first thing you default to is acknowledgement and taking accountability. When something happens, I'm like, why didn't I not see the signs? Or how did I let it get to this point? Or what did I do to enable them disrespecting me? Instead of defaulting to why, if I treat someone well, would they turn around and do that? Or why did they think that was acceptable? When you have that mindset and you're always looking for love in the wrong places, you're also not thinking straight. Sad to say. And instead of looking at things for what they are, instead of what you think they could be, you put yourself in an illusory situation that is so dangerous. There's a reason why God said certain things in the Bible. He's trying to protect and guard something that is so sacred. Wherever you fall on the spectrum of spirituality, we all know what it's like to have our heart broken and how long it takes to heal. Some of the times that I've talked to God the most have been when I felt broken because of a man. And I'm so embarrassed to say that. But in a way, on the other side, I'm proud that that was my response and reaction. Now, would it have been better if I just listened to him in the first place? Of course. But at least when I realized that I made a mistake, I decided to go directly back to the source that could help build me up and find that sense of love that I could trust myself again and put myself in better circumstances going forward. It is so easy to get jaded or just put parachute proclamations over people like all the men in Toronto aren't bad, or you can't trust these type of people, or this is like that. When really, it doesn't have to be that way. Yes, many people have had bad experiences while dating, but many people have also found the love of their life and lived evenly yoked, balanced, healthy relationships and partnered with people that truly respect and see their worth. Speaking of worth, one of the things I've also realized in my conversations with Christ is every single time that I've dated the wrong person and found out I lacked something. And as much as I talk about on the Patreon pods, this idea of building self-worth and everything being a process and you're on a path at a different pace, it is so evident that when you're in certain situations, you could never be there and tolerate and accept certain things if you did not think of yourself a certain way. That's a hard pill to swallow, but once you start mentioning these things in prayer and you go there, God will guide you through. It's a hard thing to do, but once you realize that everything you go through in life, and this is outside of dating, is meant to make you the best you could be and hopefully unscathed as much as possibly. Anything that happens, the highs and the lows, can be helped to meld and mold you to a higher sense of self. We can take the things that break us to build up in different ways. And yes, they may leave scars on our heart today where we keep our head on swivel or look sideways when someone says something. I catch myself sometimes. Even when I meet a good guy, I'm like, Even in the awareness of catching that is where the growth is. Allowing it to be an opportunity to always come back to the Lord and look inwards to figure and find a better sense of understanding. And then hopefully avoid more things or heed, right? As my parents would say, if you don't listen, go feel. Similarly, when it comes to matters of the heart, if you don't listen and see why God is saying what he's saying, you're gonna find out. And it may be a arduous journey back to feeling like yourself or feeling balanced. So the best way to prevent that, the best way to feel like you're going upwards and onwards and finding someone that you can level up with and they can be your light and you can support one another, is basing it in Christ. Having that foundation of someone who knows the word makes all the difference. I really like having conversations or being able to read scriptures. It just feels like a different level of connection. And I know it's not for everyone. Everyone has a different level of faith. Like sometimes I feel like if I was with like a super Christian, I would be like, I'd feel imposter syndrome. As long as I've known the Lord, I still have a long way to go with my intimacy with him. There's still that commitment to him. And if you meet someone who has no interest or makes a mockery of Jesus, there's only so much you can go to and only so much you can work with. And the thing about picking a partner is exactly that. That's a partner, someone who's meant to be with you wherever you go, whatever you do, whoever you become. This is the person that you might have children with, the person you might build a business with, and at the very least build a home with, right? With all these big life-changing decisions, you want to have a person by your side that has the same core values at heart. Mind you, I know Christian men can cheat. In fact, the one that, let's not go there. I was about to give a quick story time. We're not going to do that. But what I will say is there's exceptions to every rule. I think the most important thing to say today is if you are honest with your relationship with God and you listen to him and you're patient, that part, you will avoid a lot of pain and problems. So on that note, I'm going to wrap up this episode. I hope something I said edifies you and helps you along your way. And until next time, stay safe, stay sane, stay blessed. Love and later.